When I started playing Escape from Tarkov, I would freeze up whenever I heard a noise, and when I died anyway, I'd end up with an empty stash and have to rely on my scav. Eventually, I only played my scav off cooldown and thought that was me playing Tarkov. Believe it or not, there's actually much more to this game than just an endless cycle of death. Coming up on 4 years of playing this game, I'd love to share a few things I've learned to help you have a better experience as a new player in Escape from Tarkov. So, let's get right to it, shall we? The first tip on my list is knowledge is power. Don't be the guys in this clip who just ran into a hotspot with no precautions at all, or you'll probably end up like them. It's helpful to learn which areas are hot on each map and where a player may be lurking if they hear you approach. It doesn't matter if you are level 1 Timmy or insert pro here, you will most likely die if your opponent has you outpositioned. Knowing the finer details like only peeking on your right side when possible because you present less of a target, and ADSing before you lean to save some time can keep you alive much longer in combat. Every little detail adds up. Even knowing what equipment you and your opponent is wearing, such as armor and their weapon, could change the way you engage in combat. Hear a Mosin? Get in close. Hear a Vector? Get some range on them. Knowing the ammo you have also has a big effect on firefights, which brings me to my next tip. Learning the ammo types. There are two types of ammo in Escape from Tarkov: AP, or armor penetrating, and flesh rounds that have higher damage but lower penetration. Every round has a penetration value and a damage value. Every 10 pen is an armor class, so if your round has, say, 43 pen, it will reliably pen tier 4 armor and below. Depending which ammo you have, you will also have to aim your weapon differently. For example, if you are running 9mm rip rounds with 2 pen, there's no way you are getting through that Chad's Alton in any reasonable amount of time. Whereas if you are using 308's M993 with 70 pen, that's a one tap. Here are some rounds I'd recommend using from both categories if you have access to them. My third tip is learn how to make money. Making money is one of the hardest hurdles to overcome as a new player in Escape from Tarkov. The game tells you nothing about any of the maps within the game and also gives the player no true indication of what items are valuable. Luckily for you, ladies and babies, I already have a ton of loot guides on my channel that will help you find loot on every map. The two main reasons I think learning about money in Escape from Tarkov is important is because money will help you have more fun, as you'll be able to pay for any loadout you want to play with, and you won't have to worry about gear fear. Dying will mean less the more money you have, which means you can focus on making that crazy play and simply aiming over "if I die, I'll be broke." I can make a separate video on gear fear if you'd like me to cover this topic more in depth, just let me know in the comments. My fourth tip is learning how to quest. Leveling up as a new player is hard enough in Escape from Tarkov, especially if you aren't level 15 yet and don't have access to the flea market. Don't worry though, I also have a video on how to get to level 15 quickly, including how I do it myself in case you need it. Questing early game is by far the best way to level yourself up, and also the only way to level up your traders, which is the key to saving a ton of money on gear, as prices on the flea market are usually inflated. Some of your hideout upgrades are also tied to trader level, so if you don't have the Edge of Darkness edition of the game, it's definitely worth it to upgrade your stash space. Quests are also good for money. As you play through the game, you'll find yourself making some decent coin, most notably on the Gunsmith quest line if Bitcoin prices are up, or in Private Clinic, which gives you a thick items case. Definitely a good case to have, especially if you don't have your stash size fully maxed out. Eventually, you can use the quests as a way to benchmark yourself between multiple wipes once you get a solid feel for the game. My final tip in this video is have fun. Escape from Tarkov at the end of the day is a video game, and some of you may have heard this before, but it's true. You don't always have to use the meta ammos or guns, or adopt the playstyle a friend or fellow content creator has told you. What works for someone else may not work for you. Some people go guns blazing and some people prefer to snipe and set up camp, and believe it or not, both playstyles are perfectly acceptable. At the end of the day, you should prioritize what's fun for you, or you won't have fun playing the game. For those of you who are watching up until this point, thanks. I appreciate it. Before this video ends, I'm going to sound off some quick tips I found super useful. You can use page up and down to navigate your stash faster. The rubber butt pad is the best recoil reducer for the cost. You can bind both heavy and light bleed bandages to one hotkey using press and release to stop bleeds faster. Hold down R when reloading to select a specific magazine. Change your quick reload hotkey as it delays your regular reloading, waiting for a double tap input. Thanks for watching.